He didn't even have enough money for shoes, yet he quietly smiled, knowing he was worth hundreds of millions. Looking up at the towering buildings, he proudly told passers-by, "This all belongs to me," drawing confused looks from strangers. Most people dismissed him as delusional and walked past without giving him a second thought. He entered the front desk of a major corporate office and politely asked to see the CEO. The receptionist gave him a courteous smile and asked him to wait. While sitting in the lobby, he picked up a brochure featuring a global company, his own legacy. Moments later, security approached and, mistaking him for a homeless man, removed him from the premises without hesitation. He was stunned, unable to believe he'd just been thrown out of the very empire he had helped create. Still determined, he tried sneaking back in with his face partially hidden, but the guards blocked him once more. Frustration filled his eyes, and despite his tattered clothes, he shouted with defiance, questioning their actions. His name was Deshaun, a man once trained in the remote region of Kundalin Mountain. Through intense training, he had inherited the mystical power of the immortal dragon. With this gift, when he focused his energy into his fists, he became known as the Iron Fist Hero. He was unmatched in strength and spirit and feared no one. Without wasting time, he headed straight for the executive office at the top. The CEO, seated calmly, was puzzled by Deshaun's sudden entrance. Soon, a woman entered the room, and Deshaun immediately recognized her as Joy, his childhood friend. Standing beside her was Ward, another old friend. Though neither recognized Deshaun in his current state, Deshaun joyfully introduced himself and asked if they remembered him. They dismissed him as an imposter and didn't believe his claim. He pleaded, saying he just wanted to speak with their father. Ward, growing impatient, ordered security to remove him immediately. Joy interrupted, informing him that their father had passed away from cancer 12 years ago. The news hit Deshaun like a wave, and he paused, stunned by the revelation. He calmly suggested they talk since both their parents were no longer around. 15 years ago, Deshaun's family had taken a trip on their private jet. During the flight over the Himalayas, the plane experienced a failure and disappeared without a trace. The world assumed Deshaun and his family had perished. Now, seeing a man in ragged clothes claiming ownership of a billion-dollar empire raised serious doubts. Just then, armed security entered the room again, creating a tense atmosphere. Realizing that even Joy and Ward didn't believe him, Deshaun quietly surrendered. As the elevator descended, his head began to throb, memories of the crash flashing through his mind. But this wasn't just about reclaiming wealth. Deshaun was here to uncover the truth about his parents' fate. He traveled to his childhood home, which now looked unfamiliar and distant. He reached for a hidden key beneath a stone but found a new lock had replaced the old one. Determined, he leaped over the gate and entered, his heart stirring with old emotions. Every wall, every hallway, brought back memories of his early life. He noticed a dusty photo on the shelf, an image of him, Joy, and Ward smiling together. But those same friends had now shut him out of his own home, leaving him heartbroken. Suddenly, a dog barked from behind, and Deshaun slowly approached. Kneeling, he whispered, "It's me," gently reaching out. The dog, recognizing his scent, calmed down and sat quietly beside him. Deshaun closed the door behind them and stepped out onto the balcony. He stared into the distance. Flooded with memories of childhood laughter and games, he recalled how he, Joy, and Ward used to play without a care in the world. Ward, whenever he lost, would argue and create a fuss, and when something went wrong, Ward would always point fingers first. Deshaun, on the other hand, silently endured everything without complaint. Now, even the legacy that was rightfully his had been taken from him. Later, Joy returned to the house and found Deshaun there. But this time, he stayed calm, realizing that proving himself through anger wouldn't change hearts. He understood that to reclaim what mattered, he needed patience, not confrontation.